Hi guys, Jenny with On Fire Fit, and welcome to another episode of Healing Habits. And we are talking about identity this week, and James Clear talks about true behavior change is identity change. And I think that we don't give enough credit to that concept, and it's very sort of, I don't know, in your head, but in reality, it's really hard to understand how to change that. He talks about this in one of the chapters, and I think that it's really important because I do think that this is how we get habits to stick long term. Most people don't even consider identity change when they set out to improve. They just think, I want to be skinny, an outcome. And if I stick to this diet, then I'll be skinny. Process. They set goals and determine the actions they should take to achieve those goals without considering the beliefs that drive their actions. They never shift the way they look at themselves, and they don't realize that their old identity can sabotage their new plans for change. I have heard this so many times from people that I coach, and in just different ways, that I seem to start off fine, I have a good plan, but I sabotage myself. Interesting that he talked about that in that same context, because the reason is we have not shifted how we think about ourselves. And yesterday I talked a bit about that, and just knowing who you wish to become, what kind of person. So every time you cast a vote toward that type of person, something inside you says, yeah, you're right. I am a neat person because I made my bed again today. Making your bed may not seem like a significant thing, but when you do it because you want to be organized, it's casting another vote saying, I have another vote that is proving to me, I have evidence that I'm organized. If we don't give ourselves the evidence, there is not going to be the connection inside that believes that. And I think that if we don't really get to that point, it won't stay with us. And so I know yesterday we talked about this. Who do you think you are now? What kind of identity do you normally latch onto? And what do you want to become? If you want to become a writer, it will require maybe write a page every day. That is another vote telling you, hey, I am a writer. We sometimes trip ourselves up thinking it has to be perfect or we have to do it just right. But in actuality, all we have to do is cast another vote in that direction. And as James Clear talks about, you don't have to have unanimous votes. You still can win an election with a lot of votes without them being unanimous. You can be imperfect and still become this new identity. And so that's always hopeful as well. And I know that, it's very much of a struggle as we go through our lives, because we might see certain habits that kind of keep resurfacing, and other habits that we know we're really trying to either break or make. But let's really start thinking about, what kind of person do I want to be? And just cast that simple vote toward the person you want to become. And that's why there's the power in the little tiny habit. When you set out with a too big of a habit and you can't complete it very often, then you're not casting enough votes towards that identity, and therefore it's hard to get the momentum. So as he talks about, what can you do that will take only 2 minutes that will cast a vote toward that person that you want to become? So again, if your identity is I'm a writer, then you're going to write a page today, and that's going to take maybe 2 minutes. And each day that you do that, you're going to get that momentum going. We're going to talk some more about this. Since these are brief little videos, I can't get into too much depth, but I do want you to always take away something practical. So I want you to really think back. We've talked about this over the weeks, but what is a 2-minute habit that you can do today that will cast a vote for the person that you wish to become. Okay, I hope that you're living today and every day on fire. This is a pair of Steve Madden, and I selected it because I believe it is an exact match to my nail polish. And I talked about a dissonance where things don't match up. Well, here we go. They match up. And actually, they're not. But in this lighting, I think it looks like a perfect match. This is actually a deep purple, and the shoe is a deep blue. But I do think it looks like a pretty good match. And I think they're actually Steven by Steve Madden. And I believe my husband got me those a while back. But yeah, I love these shoes. And one of my many pairs of blue